I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering down. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering in love. Take another deep breath. I'm dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering in love. I'm dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering in love. I'm dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering in love. I'm dropping down to the truth of who I am. I'm dropping down, surrendering in love. Loop it around. Surrendering in love. Surrendering in love. Surrendering in love. You sound good. You sound real good.
Thank you, Dalton. And now to our announcements. Spiritual Music Jam with Shems and Acacia this coming Friday, June 5th, from 7 to 8:30 here in the sanctuary. Now that we have our beautiful carpet, it's amazing. Yes, carpeting done in sanctuary. Thank you. The Grace of Aging Sage Workshop, Mindful of Who We Have Become, with Reverend Sue Milliborn, is Saturday, June 6th from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Peanut Butter Gang, women in a local nonprofit called the Peanut Butter Gang, are taking a collection for the second annual PB&J Summer Food Drive to help children during summer months who lose access to school-based lunch programs due to funding limitations. Claire Bay Manor is our representative taking donations. And I believe there's also a box or a nice clear container out there in the foyer for the donations. City of Reading repair grants. If you live within the city of Reading, you may be eligible for assistance with home repairs that cost up to $500. These grants do not require repayment. Additional information is available at the board desk. And then, last but not least in the announcements, is honoring Reverend Sue Milliborn's retirement at Castle Crag State Park Group Picnic Area, Sunday, June 28th, from 4:30 to 7:30. Reverend Lynn Fritz is spearheading this adventure. We need you to register for this due to limited spaces. So I understand we will be carpooling, and it will be a potluck. There's a parking fee of $8 per car, so we will try to, here it is, carpool, and please RSVP in the office with Jen as soon as you can. And so, now that we have the reading, we will invite the bell. No, there's no reading today. Oh, there is? Okay. Well, let me please introduce Dr. Barbara Leger, and she's our minister in Ukraine, the CSL minister in Ukraine. So she has a lot to share with us today. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, I wanted to review something first. Get my support stick. Oh, much better. All right, it's welcoming to be here. I'm really appreciating being here. I'm so happy to see folks I know and remember and new folks to meet. So what I wanted to read to you today is something that I wrote a little more than 6 years ago. And it's from this little curriculum, the very first one we did in Ukraine 6 years ago, when we started providing information and opportunities to explore reality in the public school system. So, which in itself is a wondrous thing. So I wanted to read you week 9. Now, we were so brave. We did a 9-week program. And that, of course, was before the invasion and the war, when people had energy still to do 9-week programs. And right now it's very different. So the way that we structured it this first time was, and for the first 2 years before the invasion, was to just explore words, seed words that led to peace. And each one had a week, and each week had some little tinier seeds. And here's the end of the whole 9 weeks. It led up to peace. Peace is a principle. Well, first I should say, this goes for children from 1st to 11th grade. Imagine that. And the teachers thought they didn't know how to do it because it was such a new vocabulary. And I said, don't worry, the children will understand. And so it was. Peace is a principle, a choice, a practice, and a way of living. Residing within us all, it is a purifying quality of life. The silent gift is activated by our choice to be peaceful in moments when we might otherwise react emotionally or say or do something we might regret. Choosing peace first allows a wider, wiser response, which changes everything. Personal peace is a key to right living, and the key to peace rippling across the waters. Imagine a peaceful earth now. Consider this week. Imagine the wonder of waking up and discovering that you live in peace. Just imagine if that's what we did every morning. We wake up and we remember that we have a choice to live in peace. What are you most grateful for this morning? What does that feel like? Personal peace is your rudder, is your compass, is your path. What is the most important thing you would do to live in peace? What's stopping you? Let's do it. Thank you.
And so, as today, the topic is faith in peace, I'd like you to join me in knowing that there is only one universal life force, one energy that is in everything and everyone equally. And as we respond to this energy that is flowing through us, as it's flowing through me, I expand my consciousness, my wellness, my mindfulness. And as I align my energy with the principle and practice of peace, I contribute to expanding the emergence of peace everywhere. We are a diverse family of people of the world, sharing commitment to peace, love, and a life of great possibility for a unity of people and a unity of nations. And as we breathe this in and have our heart respond, we know that this is the truth of who we are. We know that this is the truth that lies at the core of every single individual in this world. At the core, we are life, we are love, we are peace. And connecting with that place of gratitude, that place of imagination, that place of seeing in each other's eyes the love and the peace that resides within, brings joy. And so I'm deeply grateful for this knowing that this is the truth, not just for myself, but for everyone here, for everyone within the sound of my voice, for everyone walking on this beautiful planet. We're all interconnected. We're all one, individualized expressions of divine light and divine love. And with gratitude, I let go, and so it is. And so now for our message from Dr. Barbara. Welcome, Barbara Legere, please.
Thank you, Judy. Let's see if this will work. All right. Well, the way I described peace in that reading is not the way I describe it today when I'm working in Ukraine. Because because that it's more than a rudder. It's more than a guide. It's more than a compass. It's more than the anchor that we hold on to that keeps us connected to the root of our life. In fact, what I have come to understand really much more deeply than I thought possible is that And it started as a wish, and then a hope, and then some faith, and then some practice, and then a lot more of all of those things, until it became an awareness that peace is actually a pre-existing condition. It's like seeded into us before we got here. I mean, what are we made from? We're all made from the same thing, and what is it? And I live in a secular world, even here in Reading, because I'm 15, 18 hours a day in Ukraine. And in that secular world, we know that there is a life force that we're born with. And we're born from something beyond our ability to understand, really, until there's enough practice to start noticing it, how it shows up, what it looks like, how it feels. So when we started, I've worked with adults in Ukraine for 19 years, and 6.5 years ago, I shifted to the future and with the children. And it wasn't an easy thing. I didn't choose it. Life came along and gave me a push in that direction. Have you ever had one of those? Aren't they fun? I remember when I was in Holmes Institute studying, I had this sign on my bulletin board, and it was a nun in a full habit, and she had this really big squash, and it had all these bumps all over it. It was just very squashy, hard, heavy. And she looked up and she said, "You call this a gift?" Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because our organization is called the Golden Path of Peace, which is a pretty audacious name for anything. But the more we live in it, the more we realize that it's just perfect. And the more we practice peace, the more we understand it. And the more the teachers let go of worrying about what they don't know, and they give themselves to exploring with the children, not instructing them. Education is from that Latin word, Jerry Kay will know this, educare. It means you don't pour anything into them. You bring out what is within them. That's the whole purpose. And you kind of bring them context so they can understand it in the context of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's science or art or... We haven't done very much in life skills in public education, except from certain teachers who are real committed to it. But in Ukraine, it's everyday life skills, every day. And you can imagine the things that they go through. And so the way we describe peace now is you are the emanation of peace. You precious little one, are the place where peace shows up. You are born from it, and you were born for it. It is your nature. It's not something to learn. It's not something to deserve. It's not something to question, although you can. Most people don't believe it. But I'm telling you, it's true, and I'm going to invite you to go and prove it to yourself so you don't have to believe me. And our curriculums are really all invitations for children and their teachers who have been drug along into this, and now who run to us to talk about our curriculum. They're even signing up to volunteer when there isn't even any space in their life for one more thing. Because in schools in Ukraine, every good teacher has 3 or 4 extra assignments. And so they don't have just normal schools. They don't have normal time. I'm looking for this wonderful handout I wanted to read you something from, but I think I left it at the table. Every day, the teachers do their best to engage students in how to get through this day. And in our curriculum, we give them a focus. Now, the first 2 years before the invasion, we did 7-9-week programs with words. And just words, we called them seed words. They led to peace. Then those seed words became stepping stones. And then the invasion happened. And then we started framing the curriculum into something a little more manageable, 5 weeks. And then they were designed to cope with what they were coping with. So the first one was about hope. Peace and hope together. And if you can take that breath to choose peace in the midst of whatever comes along that startles you or scares you or worries you, if you can take a breath, honestly, one breath is enough to just calm your nervous system down. One breath. Somebody asked me more than once, I've had people ask me, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I used to have lots of different answers. I'd end war, I'd end nuclear weapons, I'd have everybody kinder, all the dogs would have homes and food. But now, my only desire is to have everyone understand that putting peace first is the only logical step to move us out of the us and them world of violence and conflict and dissidence. Why is it there? It comes out of us. We all have things that we want to accomplish. We just have an old model of how we go about it. We think we have to beat them so that we can have enough to do what we want to do. I mean, it's just insane when you think about it. But, when you've grown up in it, pretty much everybody believes there'll always be wars because there always have been. Well, we don't operate in that model, do we? We look at what's possible. And if we are born from peace, for peace, then what is peace? What is our job? So I wanted to just do this little piece for context with you, and then I want to give you the lesson about faith in peace. But I want to show you this, and I brought you something big enough that you could see. Everybody see that? Children love animals. And my son was watching me struggle, trying to figure out how to bring this very simple curriculum, the one we just finished. It's our 10th, and it just finished a month ago. And it was the art and science of gratitude. Because I've come to understand through this curriculum, I had an inkling, but through this curriculum, that before peace, which has always been my first step, there's another preparation step. It's one of those, landing pads. It's one of those stepstones. It's called grateful, to be grateful. Because, it's so easy in any place in the world, whether you're in business or at home or in any community, gratitude is a perfectly fine thing to talk about wherever you are. So I look for those small good things like that. And I discovered in the doing that giving thanks actually prepares you in consciousness and in your heart to look for those small good things where peace resides, where things are working well, where things are harmonious. When you define peace, well, actually, when Reverend Sue and I created this curriculum, this day's topic, it's becoming a curriculum for me, but nonetheless, faith in peace. Well, those are two huge words. And if you ask any one of us here, you'll get different answers. And they're different wherever you go, but there's a throughput for all of them that are similar. And faith is about believing in something that you can't see, but is so strong that, or your belief in it is so strong, or your practice of it is so clear and defined and structured and supportive, and you surround yourself with other like-minded people, it becomes easier to believe, to have faith. And faith lives in the secular world as well as the religious world. But in essence, it's all the same thing. It's devotion to something or someone that isn't here, that you can't see yet. There's no empirical evidence of it, but everybody says it's true. And we all find our way to it or not. You know, when times are hard, we're more attentive. When they're not, sometimes we get a little sloppy. But nonetheless, practice is what keeps it alive. And what is belief? What is peace? How is it different from faith? Peace is a concept in the average way of looking at it. If you look it up online, it's all about freedom. It's belief. It's belief not in something else. It's freedom from something. So when you study the average conversations, faith is a belief in something that's outside of us, and we're coming to trust it. And peace is an awareness of something inside of us, and we're removing the things that keep us from it. So they're like two sides of the same story. And when I was doing this preparation this week, I was swimming in this relationship between these two words, peace and faith. And I saw that actually they were very similar. They had similar things. They both were nouns and verbs. Sometimes they were adjectives. There's some other terms they might be, but I don't remember my English grammar well enough. And they also are putting your awareness in something you can't see, building your focus on believing in it and coming to understand it. So they have a lot in common. So my definition of peace now is it's really your true nature. Peace is who you are. And I was struggling with how to share that. And my son said, well, what do you need? And I said, I don't know, I want it to be more fun. I mean, the kids love our work because they get to play in class. But I wanted it to be more fun. And so he said, well, what would do that? And I said, I don't know, maybe an animal, maybe a mascot. We have, in our schools here, sometimes we have a dog that comes to school, or we have chicken, or we have different things, rats, birds, maybe an animal. He said, what kind of animal would you like? I said, a giraffe. He said, well, geez, that's pretty big for a classroom. How are you going to do that? I said, not a real giraffe, just a giraffe friend. And so that's how Grateful got born. So here we are now. We have faith in something we can't see, and we have peace in something we sort of feel, but there's all these things in the way of it, and we have to remove those things that aren't it so we could get to it. So one is we're looking there and we're being inspired by it and being drawn to it. And here, we're looking here to say, where am I not peace? Where do I get my little self in the way? And those two things just fit together like this in my mind. It's so exciting, and I never have thought about it like this before. Grateful says, my name is Grateful, and welcome to the journey of perspective. On the way, we'll find a path from noticing, that's our first word, what is difficult, to realizing how we can use it to focus on the good we do have, see, and feel all around us, which points us to our destination, gratitude. 3 simple little words. Since those simple little words popped up, really, I mean, that's how I don't have any big book that I draw them from. I just sit with my pen every morning and ask a question. And sometimes the staff is going, where's the curriculum we need to translate? I go, it's not here yet. You know, it hasn't come through and I don't know. And so they've learned to trust that. And when this came through, these 3 simple little words, I thought, oh, this is too simple. This is like, it's not meaty enough. Well, au contraire, it is so meaty that all of us could use it probably 5 times every day. Notice. So notice starts with what's going on. How do you feel? What's your state of mind? SOM. I have my own little SOM word, state of mind. I love it. And so what's in your state of mind? Is it working for you? Is it working against you? When you're a kid, you know how you feel. You're just not used to talking about it. And in Ukraine, none of this stuff could we used to talk about at all. It was revolutionary to even explore it. But now we have 10 curriculums. We've explored it a lot. It's working really well. And the teachers and the students have created, literally, this is really important because our disbelief is so big in so many ways. And we take it for granted. We don't think about it. Our disbelief, teachers are there to teach and kids are there to learn. And we have our ideas of what that's like. And if you've been a kid or a teacher, you have your own experience of all that. But in fact, if you can come out of a repressive system, which Ukraine did 30-something years ago, and have a dream to be the new Ukrainian school and the new Ukrainian school leader, then you're hungry for things that are going to help you realize those dreams. Now, in this country, we often think, we've got our thing. We know how it works. We do it on Sundays. Sometimes we do it every day. Sometimes on Wednesdays too. Sometimes sometimes we forget. Those are all normal things. But we, until recently, I think, took it for granted. The world seems to be coming apart at the seams. And our job is to look at our faith. What do we believe in? How important is it to us? And what are we doing about it? Because if we just sit on the couch and hope it's going to get better, which we're not because we're here, we could be playing golf or watering our flowers or 100 of other things today. We're here. So we're ahead of the curve. So you could say that we're leaders. Brene Brown said, if the leaders of today, she said this about 4 years ago, if the leaders of today are afraid to enter into the juicy, difficult conversations that are coming, then pretty soon they'll be irrelevant. We're the leaders of today. We're it. And so are the kids and the teachers in Ukraine. I call them our heroes. They are, because for some wonderful purpose, they have come together in classrooms and removed the barriers between them that are time immemorial. Teachers, children, that's gone. It's gone. I have 100 quotes. I have 500 videos of teachers saying, I never thought that I would be able to understand these curriculums or be able to help the children because it was so over their head. And we're talking about things that have always never been spoken of. And the children are changing. First graders. This little guy stands there and he says, Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, you don't need to bring me any present this year. I just want peace in my stocking. And he's holding this little red heart. I can show you. I'd love to come and do show and tell for about 5 hours here with my videos. And his friend says, yes, and it's a little bit frightening to go down into the basement, to the shelter. Makes me a little bit nervous, but then somebody came and taught us how to breathe. Look, I can show you. You do this. And he smiles. He said, and then I feel a little bit better. And then we go down together. These are 7-year-olds. They're not dramatizing this. They are dealing with it in the present moment. Peace happens in the moment. It's not a futures thing. It's right now. Both faith and peace require practice to show you what you believe in and to make a difference, to move the needle on your level of faith or peace. And I had this crazy idea at about 2:00 this morning as I was reviewing all these notes, trying to think about how do you focus on this topic? It's so huge. We don't really understand the thing that we are being peaceful for, that we are having faith in or removing our doubt for. We're not talking about that because I can't. But if I looked at it, it's very hard to describe anyway, so it's sort of a nice thing to not have to figure it out. But what we can say is, what is it to you? What matters to you? I have a handout back there, and we call it the map, and it's the 4 curriculums that we've created since the invasion. Grateful isn't in there yet, but there's a journey to peace. It doesn't happen just overnight. But you don't have to go to university for it. You can start by just waking up, literally or figuratively, and imagining that you are a being of peace. That's your pre-existing condition, and you don't have to deal with the insurance companies or anything about that. You just have to deal with your doubt, which can be monumental if we've been a little sloppy, but not insurmountable, I promise, because I had plenty of it. And it's been stripped away by people who need what we talk about here. They don't talk about it. They are gobbling it up. They are inviting it because they know that their lives are on the line. They know that. I walk with soldiers. I mean, figuratively. I talk to them every day. And we talk about these things. So peace is about being present. The teachers and the kids have formed a partnership in the classroom where respect is the rule, and they're more interested in their studies when they can be in the classroom. Just imagine that. They like going because they like their teachers now. They see them as real people. They feel bonded to those teachers. The teachers say, I run to school, I'm tired, but I so look forward to being with my kids. They call them my kids. So we have a little process we do in Ukraine, and it's called Ask, Act, and Imagine. And when you put faith on the one hand, and you realize that you have to deepen your awareness of what it is you're putting faith in, that means you have to be involved. You have to act in it. You have to show up. You have to serve it. And you have to notice when you've gone a little astray and you're not acting in the way that faith is usually described as acting. And so when that happens, we tend to judge each other, don't we? Oh, look at you. You think you're so spiritual, huh? I mean, we've all done it. Come on, you know that. But what if instead, when you're waking up and realizing that you're not who you wanted to be, and you thought you were a good whatever, there's 550 different ways to get to that deep understanding that faith is leaning into. And lots of them are very different. And we don't understand them all. But in the page on citizenship, in this little booklet that I read from this morning, it says, what if citizenship is for all people? What if peace is for all people? What if faith is for all people, whether they look like you or not? Whether you like them or not? What if citizens are just here by their birthright? Or they've chosen to be here, as I did? What if that were true and they all had equal rights? What if we all had the equal amount of life force? Because how could you possibly dole it out in doses, and there's no list and there's no time to figure out who gets more and what less and all those ideas? I mean, if they're part of your faith, well, then that's great. That's great. I honor all paths. I think they all lead home. But our job is to notice ourselves, which we did this curriculum. How am I feeling? If I'm not feeling good, the assignment to notice is go out and find small good things. And how do they make you feel? Make a list to bring them to your class, share them with your friends. Do that. You should hear the small good things that they do. They're so fantastic. The cat meowed in a new way. The lady's dog had a very funny coat on across the street, and they're noticing these things. And because they're noticing them, we ask them, well, what do you realize about yourself or about life? Well, I realize I haven't laughed a lot lately. We have a whole video of kids coming and putting a flag in a bouquet saying, I realized that I'm not afraid to feel my feelings. I realized I can support others. I realized I can be kind. So just imagine the opportunities that we're bringing for children. They don't have the history to remove that we do with belief. You know, the belief that we have in peace is fraught with thousands of years of war. But peace isn't the absence of war. War is the absence of peace. So what's our job? Be more peaceable, of course. Because when we're busy being peaceful, we don't have time to have wars. And think about the people in your lives. Our families, they're our playpen, aren't they? I mean, I don't know if am I the only one where I do most of my practicing with the people close to me? Oh my goodness. So we must ask, we must act, and then we must imagine what peace could look like. Am I peaceful? Where's my faith? Do I have any faith in peace? Reverend Sue and I were back there for half an hour one day just playing with this title. What does it mean? Faith in peace. And we decided that that was it. And when I started looking at it, I went, wow, what if we really practiced peace the way we practice our faith? Full faith and confidence in that thing that we say we believe in, that we hope is true, we can't see, but we become so clear that it is impossible to take away from us this thing that we can't see. How do we get there? Every day, wake up and say, today is a peaceful day. And then the first time you stub your toe, or the dog won't go to the bathroom outside, or, your neighbor's music is too loud, you say, the main thing is to have the main thing be the main thing, and the main thing is to have a peaceful day. And you just have fun with it. And I call it make it welcome, make it easy, or not make it. Let it be welcome, let it be easy, and let it be fun. So these are very heavy topics. I could talk forever, but I'm way past my time probably. All I want to leave you with is that love is really the benefit of all this. And I just want to say, last night looked something up on your website. I wanted to make sure of the time. And I pushed a button I didn't know I pushed, and all of a sudden there was a slideshow, a movie there. And this cowboy kind of guy was talking, and I thought it was, an ad for the rodeo or something, and that I was on the wrong station. And I went back and looked at my phone, and I realized, no, that's there. And I'm going to sit down and listen. I want to figure this out. What is this? How many people have watched that video at the front of your website? Could you show me your hands? All right, well, the three of us have. The rest of you, please go home and open the website and set a spell and look at what's going on in that website. Because that website is filled with faith and peace, filled with it. It's all about we're all together in this. Imagine if the people of deep faith who believe differently than we do, who get mad at us, like Reverend Coffey, bless his heart, I did an internship in a Black Baptist church in the early 90s. And Reverend Coffey for 4 months, and I knew him already from community work in Sonoma County, and there were pamphlets in the lobby that talked about who were the good guys and the bad guys. You know, there's a lot of churches who went through that. Some still do. Most have graduated. I helped his church graduate. He and I sat for 3 months every Friday for 3 hours. And we talked about his faith and where it was leaning and where mine was. And both of us are leaders. At the end of it, I loved that man. And at the end of it, he invited me to come to a Saturday breakfast for his leadership team and do the opening. So what if we could look at the people who we judge as having the wrong idea about things, and don't we just know what's right? I mean, I can only say that because I have a lot of that in me. I'm working it out by loving myself. So what if we could imagine that just like faith and peace come together like this perfect gear, what if we all knew that we were all after the same thing, something we can't see, something we don't really know is there, but we've been told it is, or that it isn't, but we feel called to it. What if we could get that we have the same purpose in mind? We express it differently. Some think they're the only ones that are going to be happy. Some don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's in your heart, because that's what builds the world. One heart, one mind, one thought, one energy, one presence at a time. So I'm so thrilled to be here with you. And there's so much life to live and things to share. And this is not a heavy topic anymore for me. This is like the greatest exploration there is. The greatest joy. That's true. Yes, it's true. So let's take that inside to the inner world, shall we? Let's do that. Treatment. I have it on the list that I'm doing that. Is that right? Yes. Okay, great. Just wanted to be sure. Imagine that you're going to the doctors. And a lot of people feel like, oh no, he's going to tell me something difficult. Or my kids are worried about me. I don't like that. Or my child, I don't want to hear any bad news. What if that's a state that we've experienced or we're looking towards? What if, in fact, when we went to that doctor, the doctor knew what we're leaning into and was able to accept that for us? I have one doctor, the most serious one of all, the one that really, really, really matters. And he knows I am perfect, whole, and complete, just as I am, with whatever I'm dragging around in me. He loves my attitude. He loves the fact that I believe that I'm here to happy and healthy to 100 and beyond. So imagine giving yourself a treatment from that place where you have that awareness for yourself. And when people go, oh, honey, that's such a hard thing, you go, shh, 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 hush. Tain't so at all, tain't so, tain't so. Perfect, whole, and complete. You have everything you need to dissolve whatever is disturbing you. You can do that in your mind and in your heart and in your body. And if you do it with faith in that great unknown that gives you so much comfort that you feel you are always provided for and protected, then blessed be. Lean into that with all your heart and strength and soul and mind, and love your neighbors as yourself. That's where it begins, in the ordinary, everyday moments. In your heart, when you face whatever you're facing, can you face it with faith? Can you imagine that you can be peaceful with this? I think true faith is not possible without real peace. We wouldn't choose it if we weren't halfway peaceful. It would be too hard. And real peace isn't possible without real faith. And so we bring that into our awareness today, and we plant that seed in the garden of our mind, where we know that this is the perfect time to plant it. Could be in the middle of winter, but this seed is sturdy, gritty, and it's going to do great. And then you nurture that seed. And as we nurture it, we lean into what matters, we serve, we choose to be kinder, more loving to ourselves and others. Whatever it is, it works. When we wake up, we affirm it. When we go to bed, we declare that something wonderful is going to happen in my dreams. I'm going to wake up and know that I'm living in peace and that all is well. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful talk. I would like to invite the usher. Oh, sorry about that. Yes. Dalton, thank you.
The time is now, the moment's clear. The last shall be the first. For morning's come, and the sky is clear. May peace prevail on earth. So long in dreams we have foreseen the path for which we thirst. And now we claim what was our goal. May peace prevail on earth. A world of peace we now claim, and all the world shall light this flame. May peace prevail on earth, now and always prevail on earth. In each one of us, prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. The darkened night with shadows long, we have undone the curse. For morning's come, and the sky is clear. May peace prevail on earth. A child was born and saw the land, a home she knew from birth. And each one here is that child. May peace prevail on earth. A world of peace we now claim, and each one of us should light this flame. May peace prevail on earth, now and always prevail on earth. In each one of us prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. In each one of us prevail on earth. May peace 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 prevail on earth.
Thank you, Dalton. I'd like to invite the ushers up now, please. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways, as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
Ya blagadaru, ya blagadaru, ya blagadanya left your star jest. Ya blagadaru, ya blagadaru, ya blagadanya, ya blagadaru. Life is a joy. Even in the midst of challenge, uncertainty, pain, and suffering, you can find small good things that work. And they will lift you to bigger, more joyful, more gracious, more inclusive life. And it's never too late to reboot and restart. I do it every day and after every time I fall. See? In Ukraine, when something comments, like a door slams or a dog barks, and you've just said something profound, everybody in the room will in one voice say, "Это правда?" Means that's true. Have a great week.
All righty, if everybody could please stand on up and stretch on out. We have a little bit of closing music for you. This is a little bit chanty this morning. I'd like to invite you to make whatever contact with your neighbor you're both comfortable with. You could hold hands, you could put a hand on a shoulder, you could just look over with a nice facial expression, or indeed a mean facial expression, if that's what you prefer. And if you don't know this one, you'll pick it up very fast because it's a lovely little chant. Breathe in and out with me as we do this here, huh? O lover of my soul and keeper of my spirit, nothing can separate us. We are one. That's how she goes. O lover of my soul and keeper of my spirit, nothing can separate us. We are one. We are one. We are one. Nothing can separate us. We are one. All nations on the earth, all life upon the planet, nothing can separate us. We are one. All nations on the earth, all life upon the planet, nothing can separate us. We are one. We are one. We are one. Nothing can separate are one. We are one. Nothing can separate us. We are one. No, nothing can separate us. We are one. Nothing can separate us. We are one. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace remains with me, and this is the moment.